My name is Jacob Sherman, and I'm a member of the Oklahoma Oral History Research Program. Today is September 15th, 2009, and I'm at the home of Dr. Billy Tucker. We are interviewing Dr. Tucker as part of the O State Stories Project. The focus of this interview will be about Dr. Tucker's work, and especially on the Magruder Plots. Thank you, Dr. Tucker, for this interview.
Thank you.
All right. First off, can you describe a little bit about your background, education, family background, and where you grew up?
I grew up in far western Oklahoma, fairly close to the Texas area, and I was there all the way until I left to go to school in Stillwater.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you grow up on a farm, or
Yes.
what kind of farming did you guys do out there?
It was the most nicest thinking farms that there's ever been.
Yeah.
It was me and my brother, two brothers,
Mm-hmm.
my dad, and my dad had a good farm.
Yeah. What did?
Really good. It was there was two creeks that run through it,
Mm-hmm.
so we had the water, and it was. Well, on the farm there was cotton, sorghums, well, a huge number of ones that were in the on the cattle. And so one thing that my dad did was he had a large number of everything.
Yeah. So, what county was this in?
It was in Roger Mills County.
Okay, which is close to where, or what towns are nearby?
Well, Cheyenne.
Okay.
That was right on the edge of the Beckham County.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, when did you come to Oklahoma A&M?
Just as soon as I got through from. No, I started saying just as soon as I was through from high school.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I went into the service
Okay.
for 3 years.
Yeah.
And that was busy.
Mm-hmm.
I was on boats over east.
Navy guy?
Navy guy. And I came back home. My brother that was when he got back from being in the Army, why he started doing most of the farm. My dad kind of pushed away. He'd worked too hard.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he gave my brother Earl the farm. He wanted me to stay.
Yes.
There.
Your brother did?
No, my brother didn't. My dad did before
Okay.
me. And he wanted me to stay. But my mother didn't want me to stay at all. She said, "You need to get some education. and go from there, and you need to go to Stillwater for that. So I got in the car and went to Stillwater.
Now, what was your impressions of Stillwater at that time? What was your first impressions about campus and the town of Stillwater?
Oh, I was, it was more than I had ever been in before.
Mhm.
It's a good place. And the university was just fantastic. As far as there was a place to go and you knew where to go for your classes, and there were such good people, I thought.
Now, was this the biggest biggest buildings that you ever saw before was Stillwater the biggest that you ever saw before you came here? Or?
No, but it was a good size.
Mm-hmm. Now, where were some of your classes? Like, what buildings were they in?
The first one was the one right there. I don't know how to tell you where it was. But it was right in the middle of where the whole thing was.
Oh, that's all right.
It was kind of in the center
Mm-hmm.
of it, and if I could say it, you'd remember
Yeah.
which one it was.
Old Central or
It was right at Central.
okay.
Was it the one shaped like a castle?
It may have been.
Right by the firehouse? The fire station?
No, it was on this way. It's still there.
Oh. The classroom building?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it still has.
Yeah, it's still there. It's still standing. It's still in use.
And we had one building upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
One room upstairs for our work, and I thought it was a wonderful place. It was soil science.
Okay. Now, were you involved in doing any activities? Join any student organizations?
The only ones we had were those that were making them and sending to them in your class.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't any one of the big ones.
Yeah.
There. And, at that time, it was the superintendent's job to take care of that too.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you rush a fraternity or no?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Any reason why you chose not to? Or?
Yeah. I was too busy.
Okay.
And I had a job inside the building
Okay. What was?
where the soil laboratory was. And I was getting 50 cents an hour for working on that. Yeah, particularly in trying to think where it was, but it was at the top of the building.
Mm-hmm. Now, what did you do for that job? Just
I just did work for them, and they gave me a little bit of money, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't very long that I was there that I got married.
Yeah.
And went back to Sayre and got me one.
Mhm.
Of course, I had known her for all my life, just about. So she came to Stillwater with me.
Ah. Did you live in the married couples housing at that time then? Once she came to Stillwater, or?
No, I had a good response to what I wanted, and I had a little house.
Mm.
And with my wife. She had 2 kids while we were up there.
Now, do you remember going into any of the sporting events on campus at that time?
Went to all of the football games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the team like back then?
Wasn't very good. You could lose a lot, regardless of who it was.
Yeah.
But I'd walk from my house
Yeah.
over to see it. I couldn't hardly stand it if I wasn't going.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you go into any of the basketball too, or no?
Yes.
What was Gallagher Iva like back then?
It was new then.
It was new?
It was new and it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. Now, do you have any other special memories of campus from that time period, your undergraduate years?
Oh, I had a bunch.
Do you have a bunch? Anything that stand out that you'd like to tell us?
Not really, but we did have a thing that was given to us at the end of the season for how much your things you got, you know.
Mhm.
And I had the soil. No, I didn't have soil. I had the top guy in the or they had some I can't remember the name, but anyway, it had a lot of guys would come over to it that their teacher had these names for them, and about all that we did that first year was to say who was 1, who was 2, who was 3.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of crazy now, but
Like ranking them?
yeah,
Mm-hmm. And your professors would rank you?
yeah.
Okay.
So far, I mean, they wouldn't rank you if you
Mm-hmm.
didn't really. And I managed 2 of them.
Wow.
And so the guys that I had that was the teachers, I just got in with them.
Mm.
And I liked them and they liked me.
That's always a good thing.
What'd you say?
I said that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Did you have particular professors that you remember?
Mm-hmm. And Robert Reed.
Mm-hmm.
You remember him?
Mm-hmm.
And well, I had some, I can't remember their name now. But yeah, I had them all.
Oh.
And the first one was the old timer. Let me see what he was.
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah, he's well, maybe I can see it. Yeah. Right there.
What's his name there? Horace Harper?
Horace Harper.
Okay. So you had him as a professor then?
Yeah, he was a professor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So we get really full circle here.
Mhm.
All right. Now, after you went to after you graduated from undergrad in agronomy, right?
Yes.
Okay. You went to the University of Illinois.
Yeah, that was, way past my time.
Mm-hmm.
I had been at OSU a long time.
Yeah.
Bob Reed was the one that told me after I was taking some things that he had looked at after me and things, and he said I should go to the University of Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, but I don't have enough money. He said, I'm going up to Illinois, and we'll see what we can do. When we got back, why, it wasn't good money. I mean, it was good, barely good money, but it was good.
Mm-hmm.
But by that time, I had 2 kids.
Yes.
So we had to take in their car and go off to Illinois. But we found over there one of the finest men I've ever been around.
And whom would that be?
I thought you'd ask that. I'm getting where I can't remember anybody's
That's
name.
all right.
I've got his picture, and if I'd look well enough, I'd have his Christmas card.
Oh wow.
So I could find it if I could find my Christmas card.
We can fill that in later
Yeah, we
too.
can fill that in. So now, did you work on the Magruder Plots up in Champaign?
No,
No.
I didn't work on it, but I saw the corn one.
Yeah.
It's the only one I saw.
Okay. Now, did you then you did your research on the South Farms then?
Here?
No, in University of Illinois, the
No.
South Farms.
Oh, well, I did some work in some of the farms, but there wasn't anything like that.
Okay. All right, just checking here. Now, what was your focus of your research up there at the University of Illinois?
They were, by the time I got there and was starting to work, they had all of the elements and making specifications. Having every one of them, if they didn't have it, all the information on nitrogen or on phosphorus or on potassium, or, if they had somebody that already been challenging on what their growths in the soils were and what they should be, and I got there and I got magnesium. So, and you just get, well, I walked around the whole, all of the, what did you say a while ago?
The fields.
Yeah, all over, right over the country.
Mm-hmm.
And gave me the pickup to go do it. So by myself.
Yeah.
So I got in the pickup and I done all these things and got with people in the counties and got their information. And then, of course, another Tucker, he was from down south of Illinois. Well, I'll tell you in a minute, I hope. They gave the two of us a building with bigger than this,
Mhm.
and that was for us to do our own work.
Okay.
And in this area, and here's all of the things that are necessary to do the job. And his name was Tucker. But no, had never seen or heard of him before.
Mhm.
But he, when he graduated, why, he found him a job in Kentucky.
Ah.
And I found my job in Oklahoma.
Mhm.
And I hurried back.
Yeah. Now, how'd you hear about the position?
They called me.
They called you? So they thought you would be a good fit for the program?
Yeah.
So who called you?
Oh, Dr. Harper.
Okay. And this is in what year? Or
I'll have to find that out.
okay. All right. Oh, sorry. Now we'll get into the questions concerning the Magruder Plots. Were you initially assigned to oversee the Magruder Plots, or?
It was a year or two or three maybe.
Okay.
After I was doing other things.
Mhm.
Why then I was told to do this, the Magruder Plots. Oh, I was talking to Dr. Isn't that crazy? I can't remember his name. Maybe he's on here.
Okay.
I'll bet he is. And he was the guy that I worked for in the shop that I was telling you. We were doing it every Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Right there on campus. And he was still around. He had been gone and he is back. But when I got back, and his name is here if I can get it.
Okay.
Real smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
She'll get it. Yeah, Horace Harper.
Horace Harper again? Dr. Harper?
Yeah.
Now, did you work on the Magruder Plots as an undergrad, or no? Did you have experience over there working with them?
We may have
Okay.
taken a trip over there to learn things, but that's all that it was.
All right. Just curious. Now, can you define agronomy for me?
I really can't, but I can tell you what I think.
Okay.
It's production. Production for all of your things that you want to get done, and you want to feed it to the world, you know. What did you ask me?
Just the definition of agronomy.
Oh, agronomy, yeah. And what it is, what the real agronomy is the production of things that have been gathered going out to the fields. You know whatever's there and why it's there. And that's agronomy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, since the Magruder Plots are part of the Oklahoma Agricultural Experiment Station, how does the Agricultural Experiment Station work within the university structure?
And
How does it relate to the university structure, the Agriculture Experiment Station?
oh, very, very much.
Okay.
A lot.
Right.
Still got a good plot out there.
Mm-hmm. Now, what can you tell me about the history of the Magruder Plots?
This guy is the first guy I knew that worked in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was here in between 1926 and 51. And so he's the guy that started it when he got here.
Mm-hmm.
Again. And I don't really know where it was at.
Okay.
There's actually some areas that doesn't say Magruder that has all these others. Because they're the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it says the first of the Magruder Plot caretakers to enjoy a lengthy tenure at Oklahoma A&M College. He was down here doing that because he's from Iowa.
Ah.
He came from Iowa down here. And he's got, it says, why study our soils? And, you know, these guys say, I can tell you why I study these soils.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty important. The governor at that time was Alfalfa Bill Murray.
Yeah.
You heard of him, haven't
Yes, sir.
Right. So I don't guess I answered your question.
Now, did he ever tell you how the plots were moved to its current location?
I think he did,
Yeah.
but I'm not positive which one was going then. And before that, and I heard about it, but I've never even seen anything going over there,
Mm-hmm.
that place.
Yeah.
So when it was moved out to the field, why, I was surprised.
Yeah. Okay. Now, who are some of your students that you work with over at the Magruder Plots?
Where are they now?
No. Who were some of your students that worked over with you on the plots?
Oh, back then it was.
And who are those gentlemen?
Huh?
And who are those gentlemen?
Here's Webb, here's Westerman,
Mm-hmm.
and here's Billy.
Nice. And Can you tell me their significance, what they've done since working with you?
Oh, there had kind of stopped
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't moving very good.
Mm-hmm.
So I called these guys, said, you gotta come see me.
Yeah.
And they did. And they really did like it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Westerman has been the author for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's the guy. So, now what's your other question?
No, like, what have they done since working on the plots? Like, what's Dr. Webb done, or Dr.
Pretty well held to what we said a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There, as far as, but in order to decide what you needed to do, you had to take some tests
Mm-hmm.
and see what you need to work with. And I've been asking them what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they say they're still treating them about like they was when I left.
Mm-hmm. And what can you describe how you treated those plots? And like,
Yeah.
what the actual experiments, what's doing?
Yeah. By this time, this has been changing all through the
Mm-hmm.
years. But I've been told that we can just leave them like they are now.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, you can still change potassium, you can still change phosphorus, you can still change nitrogen,
Mm-hmm.
But once you do, you got to see if it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And if it has making the crop areas, and you can, particularly with nitrogen, you go and you put some nitrogen on in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
and then by spring it's doing much better. But it's not worse enough that anybody is saying dig it up. They're saying you might put some more nitrogen on if you see in the fall if that's the thing to do.
Yeah. Now I heard that each plot is treated with each plot. You have one plot that is just completely left alone, and then another plot manure spread on it, another plot nitrogen, another one phosphorus, and then potassium, and then I think there's two more that I'm sure of. Now is that correct that each plot is measured and
Yes.
and the stats are kept up?
Yes.
Now how does one go about how are the plots treated? Like, how is nitrogen actually put on the soil, or the phosphorus put in the soil?
Well, they have the fertilizers that's on all, every farmer in Oklahoma has these.
Mm-hmm.
And this is to tell how much will do the job,
Mm-hmm.
and what should be used.
Mm-hmm. And is it the fertilizers? Is it a constant stream applied to it, or is it a one-time shot?
It's not necessarily one-time shot, but it's this for a few times maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever they got to take the sample.
Yeah.
And it's whatever the sample tells you down at the lab. Why, you know what it's going to be, and if you haven't looked at they're doing. If you haven't been out to the plots, you go out there and you can just look and see the nitrogen that's got everything.
Now, has there been a time when the plots were in danger of disappearing?
Yes.
And can you tell me about that?
It was the time that that's when the Magruder Plots were over right behind, which one would you call it? Anyway, it's the big room. And it hadn't been built yet.
Okay.
The second one from the south of the ladies.
Oh, Stouthoff?
Yeah.
Okay.
And whenever they decided that they were going to do that, some of these old timers said, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
We got our plots over there, and we got our work over there. Well, they come up to see me and ask me, what should they do? And I kind of went around asking, would they really put that building right over the top of it? And they said, yes. The building's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And so myself and some others said, okay, but we'll move it out to the farm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we told them if we'd give them $10,000, we might be glad that we've got it. So we'll just move it over there.
Mm-hmm.
And what you have to do when you move it is be real careful. You got layers, going all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna take a car from a truck from up here to not tear up your area? But it was pretty well done when it was over.
Now, I heard there was a second time they were in danger when the athletics were eyeing to put a stadium.
Did you hear about that?
Yes, I did. Can you describe that for us? What was going on at that time?
Real big.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one that is making all the problems. And because I went and told them you were not going to have a building. If you have a building out there, you're going to move it up north or something. You're going to leave this up there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was strong enough. I hate want to worship it.
Oh, wow.
And I just told him. I said, no. You could move them from, like we did, from building to building. But you're not going to have a big deal. Something like that going around. And so, I guess it was me. They made a trip around Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to all of the guys that were growing these crops.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, we think that we can really make a big deal out of it, that you're not going on and running Magruder Plots. And they got it all put down that no, you're not going to go, and we're not going to sell that area for for softball.
Now,
And they bought it. I mean, it was bought in Washington by the guys that are giving us money for these kind of things. And they were all over. Then I went over to the state of Oklahoma and told them what the deal was. And they said, "You're not going to let them do that."
now was this also the time? Was this the impetus for getting the Magruder Plots registered as a National Historical Place?
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit? Can you describe for me about that process? How you got registered?
Mhm. We just want to see the right people. I forgot who they were now. And that was pretty simple and easy. They immediately said, "Yeah, okay, we're not gonna bother you." But see, on that first deal, if you go back in those days, you go back to every farmer in the state, and he believes you, and then he goes to Washington to tell them you're not gonna do it. They didn't do it.
Yeah.
But this one, I don't really. Well, I'm sure. What were you asking me?
I was just asking how you got registered got the plots registered as a National Historic Place.
Yeah, we did that, and that was just easy to do. That was after we were telling the people here, "You're not gonna tear it up."
Now, what kind of training do the plots offer students?
Did who?
What kind of training does the plots offer students?
I don't understand. What offer? What?
With students, what kind of training opportunities do students have with the Magruder Plots there?
Oh, they do have them coming out and showing them what this is and giving them what each one of them are, and which thing is there, which value is there. That's how that is. That's done 4 or 5 times in the spring.
Explain how the wheats are tested and experimented on.
The what's tested?
The wheats.
The wheat.
Yeah.
It's not the wheat itself. Well, it is too. It's the soil volumes of different things. And of course, if you get certain volumes, you stick your probe down and get why there's no need of clipping it off at that stage to the plants. Now, after it's harvested, there's quite a bit of sampling of the straws that's out there, so that tells you what you should think of next year.
Now, has mechanized farming helped or hurt the plots?
The what?
Mechanized farming?
Mechanized?
Mm-hmm.
I hope not.
You hope not?
And I'm kind of thinking that maybe it doesn't hurt at all.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say that there might come something, so far it hasn't hurt.
Okay. Just wondering if it had any effect on it. Now, are these the nitrogen are these just fertilizers or is it how does that work?
That's fertilizer.
Just fertilizers?
Yeah, ammonium nitrate, something like that. is good for the plant,
Mhm.
they'll start really coming up and producing something.
Now, I know there's different types of wheat varieties on the plots. Can you possibly explain the differences in the wheat varieties that are within the plots?
I could have before I quit.
Yeah.
But after I quit, I really haven't been there enough and done things that I could.
Okay.
If it gets pretty bad, I know what a few of them will do.
Mm.
Like this in the middle here.
Yeah.
He'll tell me what I should do. He's my student,
Yes.
all the way through college.
Wow.
And when he and guess where he went when he was getting ready to go to school. It's got more.
Yeah, you went to Illinois.
He went to Illinois, and it just so happens he hit the same stuff up there that I did. I was just coming home,
Yeah.
and he was going
That's right.
up there. So, and Bob Reed was the guy that got him the same thing up there in Illinois that he and I had been there.
So a shared connection. Now, maybe you can explain like the type of, not a variety, but the type of wheat that is used.
Hard red winter.
Hard red winter. And that's was brought over by the Germans, or who brought that wheat? Or Ukrainians?
No, it wasn't. What was the last thing you said? Ukraine?
Yeah, the Ukrainians.
I think that's right.
So these wheats are non-native species of Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is there a native species of wheat that's grown within the states, or no?
No.
Okay. Now, what would you use this hard red winter wheat for?
Bread.
Bread?
Mm-hmm. That's number one.
Yeah. What other uses?
There's some other ones.
Like, would you use it for cattle feed or no?
You use most of that for hog stuff. If you got extra, you don't feed the cows very much wheat.
Okay. Now, what kind of knowledge from the plots? What kind of knowledge has been implemented on farms across the state?
When I left from here, west was pretty even.
Mm-hmm.
There were some people over east that didn't want to. What they didn't know was that it was more important for the east people than the west.
Mm-hmm.
But they got back into it. As far as I know, everybody's using the right approach now that they get from here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about you? What have you personally learned from the plots? What kind of knowledge that you have learned?
For the ones there?
For the ones, yeah, from the Magruder Plots. What kind of knowledge that you've learned from?
Oh, real early, a whole lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really, really big time.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, when it was over on the one that got moved off. I remember that some farmers would have yields up to 12 and 14 per acre. I myself went up to Enid that was doing that. I mean, north of Enid. But, it was a place that they had given us and to do work on. So we did that. The average yield of the wheat after you increased it by using ammonium nitrate to go out was went up to 50.
Oh.
So that was big time. And then my farm, well, not my farm, my dad's farm,
Yeah.
over there where he was, it went way up. Because I just took him some and told him to get off the tractor. I was going to put on something. And I just put them up here, and the next fall, later in the fall, in the winter, he says, "What in the world is wrong with this?" And so he got farmers all over that western part of the state, and they got together and they told me I had to come and talk to them, and I did. And that all, well, it'd be green and nice, and here and over here it'd be pretty poor because it had a lack of nitrogen.
Now, did you have any mishaps working on the plots? Anything you realized that you shouldn't have done?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I can't really remember anything, but I'm gonna have to tell you a story.
All right.
There was a guy at the time that was we were not only nitrogen, but we had other things. And one of them, I think it was the other side of potassium, I believe. So that's when I was going around and doing things with farmers, you know, and they would come to the meeting at night, and out in the Panhandle, we had one, and we had the meeting, and we were telling them what to put on there, not only their wheat, but for any other thing they had that they didn't have any nitrogen. So they, the farmers, I went up by there, that same area, a little later, and they said, "Well, what do we do? Could we?" He used something that's kind of like he was recommending that they do his stuff that was nothing but rocks. And so, but it was, you know, he'd take them and worn them down, and so he had these rocks, small rocks that he was saying that he had to use his stuff. And so I told, and so the farmer says, are you gonna tell us? You're gonna have something going here? And I said, yeah, I sure will. And so he then he found out that what the guy was doing, and so then he put his nitrogen stuff on. And so he says, trying to think it now. He, what he did, he goes and to his papers that he had a whole paper on his thing, and it says, Dr. Billy Tucker, put up or shut up. So that whole country. This week, somebody says, hey, Billy, put up or shut up. But he wrote a letter to the dean, and he wrote a letter to the president, and he wrote one to Oklahoma City. And so it was so crazy that they all came around and said, Billy, write that. This was our president. And he says, you go ahead and tell this guy to fly a kite. And so 3 of them did. 3 of them asked me to. So they got onto him.
Now, did you have pretty good working relationship with the farmers that you talked to?
Yeah. Some of them I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I knew there's all good. I knew they had good. Good foaling stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you were working with a relationship with the farmers? Did it help that you were a farm kid yourself? That you've had the hands-on knowledge before you became an academic?
I think most of them know me completely.
Mm-hmm.
When I came up here and what I was doing, and we had meetings forever, and so we knew them all.
Now, just to wrap this up here, right?
Mhm.
Can you describe me? What do you think? Can you place the plots, the Magruder plots, within the overall history of Oklahoma State University and Oklahoma A&M College? Like, what is the ultimate significance of them?
Of
The plots themselves.
Oh, the plants?
The plots. The Magruder plots.
Oh, the Magruder Plots.
Yeah.
I think they keep doing a little bit better. And they learn some things that they might not have had. But it won't be anything big like this.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll still have signs up to put out your fertilizer or put out your wheat things. Get it out there. And I don't think they're going to get. I don't think the ball people will get it.
Yeah.
It's going to stay there.
Yes. That's a good thing.
As long as this group's got guns, yeah, they won't come.
That's right.
No, I was kidding.
Now, one last question. Do you consider yourself an Aggie or a cowboy?
Oh, an Aggie.
An Aggie?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a cowboy.
Okay. Just have to ask since you went to Oklahoma A&M.
Yeah, well, we've had some of these same kind of people there all my time. But cowboys are all right too.
All right.
Okay.
Now, is there anything you would like to add that we haven't discussed?
No.
Okay.
I hope I wasn't too. I hope I did you well.
Mm-hmm. You and Dr. Westman have done quite well, added insights, and we thank you for that, and thank you for allowing us to come into your house and interview you today.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Dr. Westerman is here because I went down to his farm and brought him here.
Yes. So that's right. He's a good man.
He's a good top notch.
Yes, he is, and he's still.
You know, he was in the. What army was he in? What?
I couldn't tell you. I know he served in the military.
Yeah, and it was one of the little ones that. I can't remember which one it was.
Wow. You brought him along, and university can thank you for that. So, and for that, I'll thank you, and also we'll just conclude our interview right here.
All right.
All right.
you.
Thank you.